Hey, what's going on guys? Welcome back to another video. Just before we go ahead and get started on this video, please drop me a like and a subscribe. I am doing a giveaway at 500 subscribers, so all you have to do is literally be subscribed, and we're so close to it in 200, so let's try and smash that as well. So today, hopefully, what I'm going to be showing you is how to install a sub. Now this is just going to be a general style installer sub, because there is so much stuff you can do with audio that would just take me absolutely forever to explain in one video. So if you do actually enjoy this video and want me to make more in-depth video of different types of subs, different type of amps, how to set up an amp, how to set frequency on an amp, how to set the gain, and upgrades you can do to your door speakers and all stuff like that, then drop me a like below and I will make a more in-depth video talking about certain areas. But today is literally just going to be showing you how to install your sub and amp and your little wiring kit that you'll probably have got. So before I actually go and show you where to run what wires and what to have, we're going to be talking about the three main things that you're going to have. So obviously you're going to need a sub. Now subs come in various sizes and designs, but normally just a normal sub will come in either a 10-inch or maybe a 12-inch, and that's your nice little small subs. You can also get an 8-inch version, but the most common ones do come in 10 and 12. Obviously subs can go much bigger than that, but we're not going to be discussing that in this video. Like I said, I'll make another completely different one if people are interested, but we're just going to be talking about a basic sub. Now most subs you'll buy will come with a box and a pre-built amp, so you don't have to worry about anything else. But if you don't, that's not an issue. You can get boxes built for your sub and you can get external amps. It's not really hard to wire up. There are companies such as Vibe and JBL that do little subs and boxes with a pre-built amp, which is quite nice, and that is just exactly something you throw in your boot, wire up, and you're off to go. You don't have to mess about with wiring up another amp, putting that somewhere, hiding that out of the way and whatnot. So once you've got your sub and amp sorted, if it's not pre-built, you can buy external amps, but most little ones do come with a pre-built amp, but the procedure's still the same. So now you've got your sub and your amp sorted, the third thing you're gonna need is a wiring kit, and obviously that's to power your amp, which powers your sub. Now most places do sell these. eBay sells some good ones, Amazon sells some, Alfred sells some. Most electronic stores will sell a wiring kit. Well, the main thing is your power wire. Now all wires do come in different thicknesses, but the most common ones you get for a little small setup is a 12 gauge. Obviously the smaller the gauge, the thicker the wire is, so 0 will be the thickest, and you can get anywhere up to 24 and higher, which is normally your speaker wire. But for a little wiring kit, you can get a 12 gauge wiring kit, which is more than enough to power a little 12-inch or a 10-inch. Like I said, you can get different gauges for different subs, but we're not going to go too in depth on that in this video. Like I said, I'll make another video explaining how to get more power, different wires, what you need them for. Your 12-volt wire will send power from your battery to your amp. It normally goes through your firewall, through your car, and then into your boot, or wherever you decide to have your sub, but most commonly it is in your boot. And these always come with an inline fuse, which you try and put as close as the battery as possible. This is just to protect your amp and you, just in case that the wire does accidentally short and then your car doesn't just go up in flames. So near enough every sub wiring kit will have a fuse that you wire in between your battery and your sub, obviously as close as the battery as possible. So the next thing you get in them is a ground wire. Now this is quite a short wire. Normally it's no longer than 1 meter, and it's also the same gauge as your power wire. Now what you do with this is you find a good grounding point somewhere in your car. Normally use your back seat belt buckle or somewhere on the floor, or just a bolt, and this goes from your amp, the ground terminal on your amp, to your chassis, or some metal that you can ground. And finally you get a little remote wire. Now what your remote wire does is it tells your amp to turn on and off based off your ignition. If you do wire it to your ignition, you can wire it to a switch, so you can turn it on and off manually, but normally that does run to the back of your head unit, and when you turn your ignition on, it'll turn your amp on. And the last thing you get in a wiring kit is RCA cables. Now RCA cables is what transfers the sound from your head unit into your amp. Now if you don't have an aftermarket head unit, you are going to need a line out converter and wire that into your factory harness. So I'm not going to be covering that in this video, but I will make another one if you are interested in how to do that from a stock head unit. But what we're talking about today is if you've got an aftermarket head unit. I will be installing an eBay Android unit on the Yaris soon, so keep an eye out for that video. So most head units do have outputs for RCAs on the back room, which is nice. So it's just a simple plug and play. You also run that from your head unit into your boot, and that also goes into your amp. Now that is pretty much a wiring kit sorted. You've also got your power and ground, you've got your fuse, you've got your remote turn on, and you've got your RCA cables. So now that we've actually talked about how to wire a sub in, I've actually already wired one in my car, so I'm just going to be showing you where I've ran my cables and how I've ran them. And for the general amount of cars, it will be the exact same procedure. So now as you can see, here's my power wire. My battery is missing because I've got it on charge at the moment, but the fuse is there, and I've just ran it through the bulkhead. I'd have this big grommet there. Now normally you would actually drill through and then put the grommet on as it is, but yeah, this is just my little bodge job, but it does work. And let's go to the passenger footwell. So now, as you can see, it's come through the passenger footwell, and I've just took this side trim off, and I've nicely tucked them in there. And when the panel goes back on, it's actually very hard to see where the wires go. And now I know I've got a really messy boot, but here's my sub. It's absolutely huge for this car. Behind, tucked away, is the power wire and the ground, and there's a 3-wire, your power, your remote and your ground that go into the amp. Now my ground wire is a lot thicker than my power wire because I've run out of the 4-gauge power wire, but I've got more on the way, so that's not an issue. And then obviously I've got my speaker wires on the top. I've just grounded it to a bolt on the chassis and it works absolutely fine. So there are my RCAs coming out the back of my head unit, and there is my remote wire. I have wired in to a ignition switch. Now the remote and the RCA both run with the power wire to the back. I don't have any interference, so I'm alright. But that is pretty much it. Like I said, that's how you pretty much wire it in. Then you obviously test, see if it works. If you do want to know how to tune an amp and how to set the gain and whatnot, drop me a like below and I'll make another video dedicated just how to set a sub up. But that pretty much should be it. If you did enjoy the video, please drop me a like and a subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.